goalkeeper once more. Saints trying to press here. They've got some fresh legs in the side today. 6 changes made from the West Ham win. Not sure how many of those were enforced or just manager Harsnuttle freshening up his lineup, but you can expect lots of energy, lots of pressing from them today as now Adam Armstrong plays the ball back to his goalkeeper, Fraser Forster. And the big Cumbrian sends a long one forward looking for the flick on here, but it's beyond Shane Long and goes out for a throw-in to Tottenham. Spurs, of course, have got so many games in hand. You mentioned that as well. Was it, 3 games on Arsenal, who've, of course, been very busy during the recent period, during December. Spurs have had a number of matches called off for various different reasons. Snow at Burnley, wasn't it? And then, of course, COVID-related call-off since then, as Harry Kane wins a free kick inside his own half. And Spurs, with about 4.5 minutes gone, haven't really seriously got into the Southampton half as this one's played up towards Kane. Laid back to Winks. Now Emerson Royal gets it near side the right. Back into the young England midfielder Winks, who turns away from the pressure from Long and finds Dyer on the edge of his own box. Spurs being forced back here as Dyer knocks it forward. Headed back by Bednarek, and then Dyer's next header is intercepted briefly by Southampton. Touched by Salisu, forced for Ward-Prowse. Now Perrault, who's playing left back today, knocks it further wide to Armstrong, peeling over to that flank. Back to Ward-Prowse in midfield. Southampton just keeping possession tightly in that area with Diallo. Ferries it across now to Stuart Armstrong, and now his support from the fullback Jan Valery. Now Walker-Peters puts an early cross in. That's heading towards goal. It's just wide from Shane Long, who made a great near-post run, and he wasn't picked up.
As a diminutive forward, Shane Long is really good in the air, and he pulls away from Sanchez with real ease. Looking at the replay, I think he is maybe slightly offside there, Shane Long, so I'm not sure if it would have counted. It's a lovely delivery from Walker-Peters, catching the entirety of the Tottenham defence off guard, and Long maybe should have felt like he could have at the very least hit the target there. We do actually have our first goal in the other Premier League kickoffs as well. Watford have taken the lead against West Ham via Emmanuel Dennis.
Yeah, very intrigued looking Ralph Harsnuttle watching on there, because that Spurs defence was like statues there, ball watching as the cross came in, and Shane Long made a good run there near post and almost got the right contact. Davis clearing now, puts it up towards the halfway line. Spurs haven't yet got going, have they? As Bednarek plays a short back pass, but Forster is right out on the edge of his box to deal with that. Now finds Salisu. Spurs are very passive at the moment as ball's played up towards Armstrong, trying to turn the defender Sanchez. It comes off the Colombian and will be a throw-in to Saints. But yeah, they look like they're still in the dressing room, the Tottenham players, to be honest. And there has been a big improvement under Antonio Conte, hasn't there, really? You know, the defensive side of things has certainly improved. And, of course, again, in that thrilling 2-2 draw with Liverpool, what was just a week or so ago, they really did show what they are capable of again. You know, I think confidence has been hit. There've been, of course, a chance here maybe for Walker-Peters to take on Reguilon. He tries to play a short 1-2 with Armstrong. Armstrong doesn't give it him back though and comes across the penalty area now, laying it out wide left-hand side. Perrault's got space to measure across, hits it in back post. Walker-Peters will rise. It's above him and Reguilon, although Walker-Peters will keep this one in. Reguilon slow to get up as the former Tottenham defender advances into the penalty area again. A little lollipop goes outside of Reguilon. Can he stand across up to the back post? Chance here for Long, and he saw Armstrong rather headed it up in the air when he should have headed it down towards goal, and it's an easy catch for Lloris.
Yes, it's a very simple save, but once again those wing play from Walker-Peters and Romain Perrault causing a host of issues for this Tottenham defence. Reguilon was just too sluggish getting out to Walker-Peters, and Walker-Peters gets around him with far too much ease from my opinion, and Walker-Peters it's the right cross as well, just standing it up, and Armstrong, it just skews off the top of his head, and it's a simple enough save. But Tottenham now looking to come forward here with Kane.
Yeah, Kane's got the better of Bednarek and holds it up. He's waiting for the support to arrive. Now Winks arrives, edge of the box, knocks it up towards Ali, tries to flick it on round the corner. Is he caught? Referee says no. Salisu's challenge waved away the appeals there by referee Taylor, and Salisu carries it up towards the halfway line, tries to knock it into his forward's feet, and it's come off a Spurs man for a Southampton throw. But yeah, they look very easy, don't they? Look very sort of slack at the moment, Tottenham, and Southampton definitely have made the better start in this game. Only 8 minutes gone, goalless at St Mary's, and Saints have a throw in just inside the Spurs half, which Perrault lobs up towards Long. Takes it well on the chest, but I think he shoved Sanchez out of the way, and the referee has blown up for a free kick to Tottenham first. Shane Long, the Republic of Ireland international striker, by no means first choice at St Mary's anymore. Adam Armstrong has come in for big money this past summer, and he's struck up a pretty good start to his Southampton career. It hasn't been reflected in the goals tally, but he's always looked a threat. That long free kick from Spurs again, pretty typical of the start they've made, wasted as it goes all the way through to Fraser Forster. Now he hits a long central ball in the direction of Long, who tries to spin in behind the Spurs defence, but Davis dealt with that one. It goes all the way through to Lloris. Antonio Conte watching on from the technical area. The experienced former Chelsea and Inter Milan coach, as Juventus as well, I should say. Of course, the majority of his success with Juve, as Jan Valery plays it square on the halfway line to Diallo. Ward-Prowse is just telling his teammate to calm down and play a safe pass. He finds Valery again, now in towards Armstrong, who's challenged by Winks. Ball deflects the way of Ward-Prowse, and he moves it across to the left for Perrault, advancing towards the edge of the Spurs penalty area. A little 1-2 there with Armstrong. Armstrong makes a good run further wide, try and create some space here centrally for Diallo, who gets the ball stuck under his feet, manages to get it out towards Valery. Advances edge of the box, hits a shot. It's a decent strike, but it's well wide of target.
Yes, I mean, it opened up in front of him, Valery. You can't blame him for going for goal there, considering he wasn't really being pressurised by any Tottenham player. But he's not known for his goal-scoring capabilities, especially from that range. And although he catches it well in regards to power, there's just nowhere near enough accuracy on that effort, as we get another goal in one of the other games, with Crystal Palace now taking the lead from the penalty spot against Norwich. Odson Edouard getting the goal there, which means of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we're now the only game without a goal.
Well, let's see if the players can provide one soon. Perrault chips one over the top, looking for the run of Armstrong or Long, but it's dealt with by Sanchez. Then a loose pass from Dele Alli is won back in midfield. Saints have definitely dominated that area so far, with Valery playing almost like I don't know, an extra midfield player there. He's sort of taken on a sort of a bit of a Joao Cancelo role as an inverted fullback in these early stages. This long ball forward is nodded away by Reguilón. There's an offside flag up against Walker-Peters anyway, and it will be a Tottenham Hotspur free kick.
Because I've been really impressed with Walker-Peters on that right-hand side. That battle between Reguilón and Walker-Peters so far in these opening 11 minutes has been really tantalising. Hard tackles going in, and of the vast majority of the play as well as being down that right-hand side. And you would have to say 9 times out of 10, Walker-Peters is getting the better of Reguilón, which is maybe on paper quite surprising. Yeah,
they've got quite a good sort of group of fullbacks, haven't they? With Tino Livramento, of course, a player they got on loan from Chelsea, who's played, I think, both sides, left and right, this season for them. They've got quite a few options there. Pace in Valery today. He's got Walker-Peters playing a little bit ahead of him, and then Perrault looks a dependable player. He's had a good start to the game. As a challenge, he's avoided there by Kane. He tries to slide it through towards Ali, too much on the pass. Be picked up by Forster on the edge of his box. I think you do need you know, obviously the Premier League by its very nature, and it's relentless, and the intensity of it, you do need good fullbacks, you know, and a good group of them. You know, Liverpool tend to get away with just playing those same 2 week in, week out, and they are probably the best 2 in the league. But I think, you know, most other teams would need 4 good fullbacks to get through a season.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, especially with the way the fixture list comes around in the Premier League. Games come thick and fast, particularly around this time of the year. So you need a lot of depth in quality in those positions where fullbacks are, and nowadays are probably some of the most important attacking players you have to get down the wings and really make things awkward for the opposite number, and really to drag players from side to side to create those gaps. Like you say, Liverpool have been fortunate that they haven't really had many injuries in those positions, but they've got promising youngsters in the likes of Nico Williams that may eventually be that world class quality.
A lovely ball from Kane, and was he brought down there? It was Walker-Peters who was scampering back there to cover the run from Reguilón. The Reguilón is showing an imaginary yellow card because he thought he was blocked, and the referee agrees, shows the yellow card, gives the free kick. But what a pass that was from Harry Kane, spinning and then playing it left-footed in behind Walker-Peters, who was getting back. You think in a foot race there, he should fancy his chances against Reguilón, but he just made contact with a Spaniard who went down, wanted the free kick, and he got it.
This is such an unnecessary foul to give away there by Walker-Peters, because, like you say, in a foot race, he's got every chance of getting there. But also, with the power that Kane puts behind that ball, Forster's looking so likely to get there before anyone anyway. So it's really unnecessary to have to make that pullback, which gifts Reguilon the opportunity to go down and for the free kick to be awarded. In the end, it's a stonewall yellow card, and now he's going to tread very lightly over the course of the remainder of this game.
Yeah, he panicked a bit, didn't he, the Spurs player? So what can the visitors produce from this free kick? 2 men over it. In fact, now probably just the one, Heung-min Son, who's going to address it right-footed. Maybe swing across in here. Højbjerg is there alongside him for one that's tapped for a shot. Winks on the edge of the penalty area as well. Dele Alli's on his own at the far post. He's about 10 yards wider than anybody else. Now he comes in and looks to steal in at the back post. He's aimed towards the centre and it's headed in by Davies, but he's offside. Then Davies just turns around, sees the flag up and trots back to the halfway line.
Yeah, I think it was a really well-marshalled defensive line there by Southampton. They delayed their run backwards, and I think it's only Davinson Sanchez out of 5 attacking players for Tottenham that is actually onside. So it's definitely the correct decision, and it's a decent header from Ben Davies, and even better delivery, I would say, as well. But Tottenham finally growing into this game and being a bit more dangerous on the attacking front.
Yeah, so it took a set piece to get Spurs going, but good defensive line held there by Saints. Long free kick aimed towards the edge of the penalty area. He's laid back by Armstrong. I don't think Walker-Peters will keep that one in. And it goes out for a throw-in on the far side to Tottenham. This one's thrown in towards Dele Alli. Won back by Saints. Now Armstrong, again, his pass is picked off there as it falls to Winks in midfield. He's looking for somebody to make an angle for him. Now he's lost it under his toes, and there's a chance here for Southampton. Oh, Winks wins it back when Armstrong's pass looking for Long was a bit too short. But Harry Winks was looking around for an easy option to pass to, and by doing so, he just tripped over the ball.
Yes, he's very fortunate to be the man to recover for his error as well, because it was a really good opportunity that for the Saints. Armstrong, I think it's the right idea to try and find Shane Long. I don't think going for goal from that range would have come to fruition, but he just gets the angle of his pass wrong in the end. But you've also got to say, Winks has given no support from his teammates whatsoever there. He's running into no man's land. He's got no movement whatsoever, and it's just really good pressure from the front from Southampton that forces that error.
Well, Southampton do have a free kick now over on the right hand side, and it's going to be taken by either Walker-Peters or Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse looks favoured. He's got his foot on the ball now. They're complaining that Heung-min Son isn't the full 10 yards away as the one-man wall has been placed. Walker-Peters has decided this is going to be taken by Ward-Prowse now. He's just there as a dummy option. One arm raised. Ward-Prowse hits the free kick into the near post, headed away by Spurs, and Davies drops on the edge of the box to Perrault. He's got an opportunity to play it towards Armstrong. Armstrong onto his right foot now for a cross. It's blocked there by Emerson Royal. Comes back to the Scot. Plays it square to Diallo. Now wide to Perrault. Gets it out of his feet. Cuts inside. Still going here. Saints on the edge of the box. Trying to work a good opportunity. Poor cross from Diallo is knocked away by Reguilon though. And then Saints try and win a header as it's once more forced forward towards the halfway line. But they had a couple of opportunities to put a cross in there. Perrault in particular, I thought on the left-hand side could have stuck it in, but they just tried to keep the ball moving, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the tactic behind that was, whether it was a case that Emerson Royal's pressure was just making it too difficult to get that cross in. Maybe there wasn't enough movement inside the area to put in a decent cross. Only the players and the manager will really know in regards to that. But it's a real waste of a promising attacking position for Southampton. But they are creating opportunities, they're forcing gaps inside this Tottenham defence, and they're making a real game out of this.
There's a chance here maybe for Armstrong to run onto the ball. Sliding tackle comes in there from Davies covering across as Saints try to just play it through there, and it goes out for a throw-in. Spurs have failed to score in either of their last 2 Premier League away games and have managed just 15 shots combined in those matches. But this is Spurs' first Premier League away game in 51 days, and that last one was a 0-0 at Goodison Park. I don't know if you remember that game back in November, Will, but it was a true 0-0 in every sense of the word.
Yes, I think the less said about that game,
that would have been a Nuno 0-0, wouldn't it? Not an Antonio Conte 0-0.
No, we've already seen that the real difference in quality with these two sides under the 2 different managers. Conte's really put some more emphasis on the defensive front. They've made themselves far more difficult to break down. I think the only real issue now for Antonio Conte is trying to get Harry Kane firing once again. He's been really poor on the attacking front. Obviously, you would have to say obviously the whole issue with him hopefully moving to Manchester City in the summer, which didn't arise in the end, is probably still playing on his mind. But considering we're about to be in the January transfer window, you'd expect, especially in the run-up to this transfer window, he'd be looking to get on the score sheet a bit more to maybe still force that move in the window.
Kane's got his arm up at the moment, trying to attract the attention of Hugo Lloris. He's going to take a free kick from the edge of the box. It was from the offside decision moments ago. This one's headed infield by Ali to Kane. Kane trying to play it around the corner for Son, didn't quite get his angles right, and Forster comes to smother on the edge of the penalty area once more. Yeah, Harry Kane, Premier League goals in particular have evaded him this season, haven't they? He's been scoring in Europe, in the Conference League, and of course for England as well in the qualification for the World Cup. But when it's come to Premier League goals, he's been strangely short. They've been on short supply for him. Southampton won it back high in the Spurs half, and Diallo tries to find Walker-Peters. Goes down under an imaginary challenge because the referee's given no free kick. Now he does for a foul by one of Walker-Peters' teammates on Reguilon, and he gives it to Spurs. Just seeing this. Was there any contact there? No. He's gone down before the contact's even there, Walker-Peters, and the referee's quite right to wave away his appeals. Spurs play it forward. Dyer looking for Kane on the halfway line, just evades his control. Bednarek gets it under, finds Perro. Long aerial ball to nobody, as all the Saint strikers have come short. That one was way over the heads.
Yes, not the greatest play there by Southampton, just a lack of communication there really, but I think with the way they've played in these opening 20 minutes, they're allowed a handful of errors. But going back to that earlier sort of no tackle really on Kyle Walker-Peters, he's waiting for the contact, realises it's happening too late, and by that point he's already going down, so it's definitely the right decision. Maybe another few of those, it could be a case that Walker-Peters could be in danger of getting another yellow card for simulation, so he's got to be very, very careful there. And when they don't have the likes of Livramento on the bench either to bring on, they're sort of lacking in the accomplished defensive side of things on their bench today. They have to be careful in trying to make sure they keep as many of their first team choices as possible.
Is Valerie heading the ball away on the halfway line. Ali gets it under, but then it's a challenge there by Bednarek that breaks the way of Perro. He scuffs his clearance. In fact, he spoons it up in the air. Emerson Royal brings it down, but he's been forced back towards his own goal. And he's caught late as he plays it back to Dyer. The referee says play on. Spurs still in possession, but Emerson Royal is writhing around on the ground, and I think Spurs are going to put this one out. Eventually, the referee gives the free kick, seeing that there was no advantage accruing to Tottenham Hotspur there, but he was just caught late as he played the back pass and went down making a bit of a meal of it there on his knee.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see a replay of where the actual contact is. I'm really not sure where the contact is, because when he goes down, he is holding his upper thigh or knee, and it doesn't look like there's any real contact there whatsoever. There might be a glance on his foot, and if anything, maybe the hip catches the upper thigh, so it might be a slight dead leg, but nowhere near to the extent that he's made a meal of it.
Yeah, and he gets up hobbling. He's not had treatment. He's got up. The free kick's been awarded, and he's now absolutely... So 3 steps he hobbled for, and now he's absolutely fine. It is ridiculous, and that's the sort of thing that, it infuriates fans. The referee's dealt with it the best way he could in that difficult situation, but he was just making a meal of something that wasn't really worth doing. Just get on your feet and let's get playing again. Here's Kane bustling his way into the penalty area, left-hand side, trying to cross it in. Bednarek forces it behind for, I think, what will be the first corner of the game, 22 minutes in.
Yeah, I think you're right there, so I would say a lovely bit of play there by Harry Kane to bundle his way into the area. Maybe could have gone for goal a little bit earlier, took his time, trying to get towards the byline. It's a real sign of a striker, so bereft of confidence in that front. He's got 3 goals and 1 assist in the Premier League this season, which is nowhere near the return that we would expect for a man of his quality, but he's done well to force a corner kick and a decent opportunity here to get the height forward into the area.
Heung-min Son to take it right-footed. Actually plays it short, edge of the penalty area. Reguilon now gets it back, the South Korean. Again, Reguilon. High cross to the back post, and that's easy pickings for a man like Fraser Forster, 6'4", 6'6", I think he is probably. And he hits a long ball downfield, trying to catch Spurs out. Now Armstrong, can he roll Emerson Royal? Not this time. The defender hoofs it out of the way, and it goes out for a throw-in on the far side. Well, it's anything but a Christmas cracker at St Mary's, Will, and hopefully you'll be able to find us something a little bit better than we've had so far in the remainder of the half.
It's hard to find much worse, if being honest, so hopefully we will find a little bit of improvement in the end of this first period of 45 as Salisu goes long down the left-hand side, intending for the run of Romain Perrault, but he's held up well by Emerson Royal, looks to try and tackle back the Frenchman, but Winks is there to intercept. Then Dele Alli has been fouled by Mohamed Salisu. He has, says the referee, and Anthony Taylor's just going to have a little word with Salisu just to tell him to calm down. Salisu really upset with that decision. As we see a replay, he came in very hard, but I think he just loses his footing, accidentally stands on the foot of Dele Alli, and that, I think, makes it look worse than it actually was. Yes, it's a foul, and I don't think Anthony Taylor's given him a yellow card, but maybe because of his remonstrations, it's a bit more of a stern talking to.
Yeah, Spurs are definitely making the most of every bit of contact here, and I think they obviously feel that Southampton are coming with a very aggressive approach. They're pressing, they're getting right in the faces of the Tottenham players, and I think Spurs' way of combating that is to try and get the referee on their side and make the most of any bit of contact, as they will probably try and do again here. Yeah,
Salisu tackling Dele Alli, no foul given this time as Perrault looks to break down the left-hand side, pressurised well by Emerson Royal. His cross is blocked by the Brazilian. It'll be a throw-in for the Saints, deep inside Tottenham territory. Looks like Perrault's going to leave this for Salisu to come over to take the throw-in. In line with the penalty area, the likes of Diallo trying from the middle. Looks like Salisu's going to shape up to go for a long throw here. They don't exactly have the height to attack this, but they do have the men forward to make themselves a nuisance. As Salisu makes the throw, it's smothered away by Ali. It falls to Ward-Prowse. Oh, what a finish that is! Fantastic effort by the Southampton captain, James Ward-Prowse. Full swim kindly after the poor header from Dele Alli. He catches it on the half volley, swerving away from Hugo Lloris, and there's absolutely no chance there for the French goalkeeper. 1-0 to the hosts.
Well, what an effect you've had there. I mean, that is a great hit from James Ward-Prowse, but it's poor defending from Tottenham from a long throw situation. I wonder if Southampton have had a look at Spurs and said, you don't defend these kind of situations very well, and we're going to pepper your box with throw-ins and crosses if we can. This one just bounces to the edge of the penalty area. There's nobody there marking Ward-Prowse. All the Spurs defenders are in a line, and they part like the Red Sea when that swerving shot came in. I think it's a great shot. It probably would have gone in anyway, but it's not great defending from Spurs at all.
No, it's really, really poor. Dyer turns his back to it. If he stays face on, he's likely going to get a block to it, and with all the players in front of Hugo Lloris's vision is very much impeded in that regard, so he really couldn't have done much, if anything, with that effort. But take nothing away from the strike itself. It's a really composed finish by the Southampton captain. Got his head over the ball and managed to caress it into that far corner with a bit of swerve as well. How will Tottenham's response, I should say, is Dele Alli gifting the ball back to Southampton. Now Winks will find Royal, lifting it over the top towards Ali, back towards Royal. Has he been caught by Salisu? I think he has. That's going to be a free kick, and Salisu has had one too many fouls, so he's now going to go into the referee's notebook. The second yellow card of the game, both going to a Southampton player. And, well, I think the foul itself isn't a booking, but it's definitely an accumulation.
It's clumsy, isn't it? Yeah, you say he fouled Dele Alli in the same spot about 3 minutes ago, so it's fresh in the referee's mind, and he's just clumsy. He's not timed it, and there is contact, so the referee gives the free kick, and probably the right decision to issue the yellow card as well. That's going to be Southampton's undoing today, I think. Discipline. At the moment, the 1-0 up, they're playing much the better football than Tottenham. Tottenham haven't got out the bus yet, really, but could they be undone by their own indiscipline today?
Well, there's every chance that could happen if they aren't too careful. They're trying to be first to every ball, and they're doing well in forcing the error on Tottenham Hotspur, as Forster looks to lift this ball long. He can only find Harry Winks, and now here's Dele Alli, well pressurised by James Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse gets the better of him, but Emerson Royal is there to find Winks. And now Reguilon aiming towards Kane, headed up by Bednarek. Salisu trying to get on the end of it, just about does, and then hammers the ball away from danger. Armstrong also can't get on the end of it, but Dyer will cushion it towards Royal once again, and Tottenham having a prolonged spell of possession here. Ali with the back heel to find Winks. Kane, is he offside? Well, he'll hold off Bednarek and try and get a shot away on the edge of the area. Does well to find Reguilon, now with Winks again. The press from Southampton. Diallo's surely found Winks there. He has. That's going to be a free kick from around 30 yards out, you'd say, and it's a promising area to possibly go for goal here.
Yeah, I think so. Winks just shielding the ball there, and Diallo's got no right to really go for that, as Winks moves his body into that position. He can't win the ball without fouling his man. It's clever from Winks, but Diallo's got to be better than that. And there's a great chance there now for Spurs to threaten Forster's goal. This is a much better free kick position than the last one, where Spurs, of course, were caught offside, although they did score, but it was a good defensive line. This is going to be a direct shot on goal, and I think nothing's any doubt about who's going to take it either.
No, it's going to be Harry Kane that's going to try and go for goal from this range. Just want to let you know, whilst the wall is being set up by Anthony Taylor, West Ham have equalised via Thomas Souček in the game against Watford. So that's Watford 1, West Ham 1 in that game. In fact, as I say, it's actually now Watford 1, West Ham 2. Quick-fire goals from the Hammers. We are still awaiting confirmation, although that confirmation has now come in. Saeed Benrahma getting the second for West Ham as well. Still waiting for this whistle to be blown by Anthony Taylor, but it's going to be Harry Kane versus Fraser Forster from this free kick. It's Harry Kane, it's through the wall, and Forster as well to get over to his right-hand side and not only make the save, but to bring it into his grasp as well and make sure there was no chance a Tottenham player would score on the rebound.
Yeah, he's hit it to the keeper's side. There's obviously the wall side. The keeper sometimes will get across and stop that anyway, but he kept his discipline there. He didn't just shift across. Sometimes some keepers can move the weight and then they have to go back towards their side and they can be caught out. Harry Kane clever with his free kick there, but don't think he quite had the precision to beat Fraser Forster.
Walker-Peters with their header will find Bednarek. His ball will only be picked up by Højbjerg, and then his pass is sloppy, picked up by Jan Valery. Southampton looking to come forward. It's actually going to be brought back here for a push on Højbjerg. So Tottenham will look to try and come forward again, but Southampton still piling on the pressure, making it really difficult from the first ball for Tottenham to turn away from a defender, as Hasenhüttl is being talked to by the referee, I think, for his remonstrations. Hasenhüttl just taking on the advice, and he's actually going to pick up a yellow card as well, so now he's got to be careful he's not sent to the stands. And you're not sure what he was unhappy with. To me, it looked like it was a Stonewall foul.
Well, he said his piece because he's fed up of all the free kicks that are going against his team. I think probably 8 out of the last 10 free kicks have gone against Southampton, and most of them have been fouls. But I think I think Hasenhüttl is feeling his team are being unfairly victimised in this game.
There's Perrault for Southampton playing it down the line, intending for the run of Armstrong. Not too well to get on the end of it, and he just about keeps the ball in play, but Sanchez gets in front of him and then finds Højbjerg, who now will find Reguilon, who turns away from Walker-Peters. Heung-min Son, this is better from Tottenham, although Son's pass is blocked by Bednarek, and then Højbjerg will bring the ball out once again for Tottenham, who are desperate to try and get that equalising goal before the end of the half, as Valery fouls his man, but advantage being played. Here's Winks towards Royal, but again intercepted, this time by Romain Perrault, who brings this ball forward, has support in Armstrong. Will he lift the ball over the top? He will. Armstrong's got the pace to burn, but Lloris read the danger quickly and came out of his area to hammer the ball out for a throw-in for Southampton in the attacking third. But a really clever counter-attacking play there by Southampton to make sure that they can now sort of wane the constant attacks that Tottenham have been putting them under. They can now have a period of possession inside, not only inside the Tottenham half, but another opportunity to get a long throw into the area, where, of course, Ward-Prowse got the goal from.
Absolutely. This is almost a carbon copy, isn't it? And Salisu has headed to that same position again. I mean, Spurs have got to learn from that last long throw-in, because they didn't get anybody close enough to Ward-Prowse on the edge of the box, but also they didn't really deal with the first throw-in.
Long throw, and it's not dealt with at all well. Eventually, Eric Dyer's there to hammer the ball away, but it almost fell kindly to Armstrong in the area. But here's Salisu once more. His pass blocked by Dele Alli, and now Winks will find the Tottenham number 20. He is then easily dispossessed by Salisu, who will take no chances in just poking the ball out of play for a throw-in. I mean, yes, Dele Alli hasn't had the greatest deal of game time over the past season and a half, really, at Tottenham Hotspur, but I haven't really been overly convinced by his performance today. What about yourself, Si?
No, he doesn't look like he's... he just doesn't look like anything like the player he was 3 years ago. And we are going back 3 years now, really, to find his best form. It's been a long time since we saw, Dele Alli look like he was really, an undroppable in this team. And now he's eminently droppable. And on this first 33 minutes, you'd say maybe take him off at half-time. He's been that bad. Yeah,
he's really not offered a great deal at all, as Harry Winks furious that a foul has gone against him, as Anthony Taylor tells him just to move away. I think at the moment this game is just beginning to bubble under the surface with frustrations from both sides. It did look like initially that Shane Long fouled Harry Winks, and then I think it's given against him for sitting on the ball and impeding the play. And I can understand Winks' frustrations.
I think the referee is trying to, play it as fair as he can. Spurs are definitely falling over very easily when there's a little bit of contact. And the referee, we've seen all referees this season at times allow contact in games and allow they're not going to blow up for absolutely everything. Harsnell was making his point a few minutes ago that the referee was blowing up for absolutely everything. So I think he might have that point that he made might have just worked for Southampton.
Here is Perrault looking to take on Emerson Royale. His cross blocked by the number 12, and it'll go out of play for a corner kick for Southampton. I believe this might be their first corner of the game. Obviously, they don't have the height that they once had in defence to bring forward, the likes of Yannick Vestergaard in the last few seasons. He's now moved to Leicester, of course, but Bednarek still a player to aim for. Salisu has that physicality as well. But apart from those two, you're not really seeing much height really to aim for from the set piece.
No, that's true. Neither of the strikers are particularly, well, I think they're both about 5'7", so he's basically waiting, it's going to be centre-backs there, isn't it? As
Ward-Prowse whips the ball in, it is headed away by Harry Kane in the end, as Son is surely held up there by Kyle Walker-Peters. No foul given by the referee, but Salisu then mops up. Ward-Prowse then makes a tackle on Harry Kane. It's going to come off the number 10 last, I believe, so that's going to be a throw-in for Southampton midway inside their own half, which Perrault will come over to take. Options limited. Armstrong trying to offer some movement, but that is very much it as Perrault inches his way forward and eventually makes a throw towards Shane Long, headed away by Sanchez. Ali finds Emerson Royale. Ali then rolls it through towards a Brazilian who finds Harry Kane, and this could be an opportunity here for Tottenham. Kane finding him in Son, not the greatest of first touches, but has Reguilon on the overlap, also with Royale on his left. Son will continue to go forward and goes for goal from around 25, 30 yards out. Got power behind it, did well to get a shot at the goalkeeper at all from that area. In the end, it is straight at Fraser Forster.
Yeah, Saints got back very quickly there. Just for a moment, you're thinking there was a good chance there. Reguilon was steaming past Son. He was trying to take defenders with him, but the midfield got back quickly. And in the end, if you're going to restrict to Tottenham to shots from 25 yards, that's a good job. Here comes Southampton again.
Wonderful flick on there by Shane Long to find Armstrong. Armstrong held up by Dyer. We'll go back towards Ward-Prowse, who spreads it towards Perrault on the edge of the area on the left-hand side. Shepherded backwards by Emerson Royal. Now with Salisu. Ward-Prowse looking to spread it towards the right-hand side again with Valerie. Has the support in Walker-Peters ahead of him, utilised him as well, and he'll get away from Reguilon before finding Diallo. Now with Ward-Prowse again, the goal scorer, rolling it short towards Diallo on the right-hand side, just playing it no more than 5-10 yard passes from the Saints at the moment, just holding on to possession and making Tottenham do all the running. Perrault to Armstrong in the area. That's Stuart Armstrong who lifts it towards the late run of Walker-Peters. It falls to Ward-Prowse on the edge of the area. Touch was heavy. Then he tried to have a large swing at the ball. It was cleared away by Dele Alli. Almost got a blow for his troubles, but Southampton continue making their way forward. Valerie's tackled by Heung-min Son. He then runs into traffic in Ibrahima Diallo. Picked up though by Winks, and he'll find Harry Kane, who controls it with his heels, gifts it straight back to Southampton. And that's a real indictment of Harry Kane's season, you'd feel.
Yeah, you got lucky there, Valerie, because that's probably the worst thing you could do there. Just pass it straight to Son, and then Son is trying to get in behind you, and your other teammates have been caught up the pitch. He got away with it in the end, but Jan Valerie, when he's in possession, doesn't convince me at all. And I think Ward-Prowse, though, is absolutely running the show in midfield. He is man of the match material at the moment. He scored that fantastic goal. He's not put a foot wrong. He's leading his team as well. He's just the absolute epitome of what what a Southampton captain should be.
Yes, it has been a real captain's performance from James Ward-Prowse. A lot of credit must be given to him for his performance, and I have to fully agree with you as well, Simon. It has been a man of the match performance thus far, as Shane Long has fouled Davinson Sanchez. Dyer takes the free kick quickly back towards his goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. Have around 8 minutes of the mandatory 45 to go. Listening to unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Southampton 1, Tottenham 0. As Stuart Armstrong forces the defence to go long. Harry Kane appeals he's been bundled over by Bednarek as Højbjerg breaks forward. That's a lovely interception by Salisu. Then Winks sets off Dele Alli. Roman Perrault getting back quickly. Then Forster quick off his line to hammer the ball away from danger. Just every second ball, Southampton are swarming Tottenham and really forcing their decision making as quick as possible, when it's meaning those through balls aren't paying off for them.
All the intensity is coming from Southampton here. I mean, I was led to believe that Antonio Conte had improved this Tottenham side. On this first 37 minutes, they look as bad as they did towards the end of the Nuno Espirito Santo reign. They're just not in the game, really. And Southampton, a team who are lower half of the table, are absolutely taking it to them here again. There's just such intensity from them, and they're getting a lot of energy from the crowd as well, who are right behind them in this match.
Yeah, a lot of credits for Southampton as Winks goes back towards Hugo Lloris. Can confirm that Crystal Palace are now 2-0 up at home to Norwich. Almost a forgotten man, Jean-Philippe Mateta, has got a goal for the Eagles there. And on a 2-year loan from Mainz with an option to a permanent deal. I don't think that option will be taken up. Only time will tell, really, as Kane is surely fouled by Jan Benarek there. He has a bit of pushing and shoving as Kane just complains to the referee. He's had a multitude of those against him. As Højbjerg finds Ali, and now with Winks, who turns away from Ward-Prowse and will look to get into the Southampton half. Through ball intended for Heung-min Son. This is better. Son gets into the area.
Oh.
Surely that's a foul by Mohamed Salisu. Taylor will point to the penalty spot, and this is surely going to be a yellow card as well for Mohamed Salisu. It is. It's a stonewall penalty, and Salisu thinks very fortunate. No, he's not fortunate. It's a second yellow. You caught on to that far quicker than I did. Salisu has been shown his marching orders, and he can have no complaints about that whatsoever.
Clumsy. Son makes a great run. Credit to Harry Winks. He's not having a good game, Harry Winks, but he's played a brilliant defence unlocking pass in behind Southampton there. Salisu's challenging. He's got caught wrong side. He's trying to put a challenge in with his left foot, which is his stronger foot, and he just completely gets it wrong. Son too quick for him. Penalty and a red card as well because it's a second yellow. And I think all those decisions spot on from Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, he really was forced. His hand was forced in that decision there. The last thing you want to do is have to send players off, but he had no other option really. And this could be a real killer for Southampton because they played so well in this game. Last thing they need is to have the scoreline level and be a man down under no real pressure up until that point. But Harry Kane has a fantastic opportunity to increase his goal tally to 4 for the season against Fraser Forster, who is a tall, imposing figure in the goal, but Harry Kane is known for his penalties.
I think he's got a good record at saving penalties, Fraser Forster, but, you know, I say Kane is absolutely money usually from the spot.
So, Anthony Taylor will just ensure the ball is on the spot and also just make sure that Fraser Forster keeps at least 1 foot on the line. So, Harry Kane will take this penalty. Fantastic opportunity to draw level. The whistle is blown. Kane takes a deep breath. It's Harry Kane. It's into the back of the net. Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Kane really needed that for his goal-scoring confidence, sending Forster the wrong way. And I think even if he goes the right way, would have taken a real special stop in order to keep that out.
Yeah, right to the top corner, really. Keeper's right-hand side. Forster went the wrong way. Great penalty from Harry Kane. And Spurs, having not really been in the game, are now level against 10 men. It's just a remarkable turnaround in fortunes in the game, but I have to say I did think that Southampton's aggressive approach could lead to issues with discipline. And, you know, a silly yellow card for Salisu 10 minutes ago, not even that, 8 minutes ago, has led to his red card when he makes a mistimed challenge in the penalty area for that.
Yes, and it looks like the way they've sort of dealt with the formation is Walker-Peters remaining in right-back. Valerie has gone into the centre of defence, and Roman Perro moving to the left-hand side of the defence as well to try and keep that back four. As Shane Long is down on the centre of the field. He's appealing that he's been caught with a flailing arm by Sergio Reguilon. Just going to see a replay here. It was a long ball by Bednarek. I mean, Reguilon doesn't look to ever move away from Shane Long. I think it actually might be a clash of heads between the two. I don't think there's any malice there from Reguilon, but it's hard to really say if it's professional play at all, but it's a real sore one for Shane Long, who looks in a real spot of bother. Yeah,
Shane Long sees the ball. He's going to try and run across Reguilon to get there first for the flick on, and Reguilon's blocked him off using his arms. Now, I think, you know, if it had been an elbow, then, you know, this could be a serious injury, but it wasn't. He's just used his arms to fend him off. He's gone down cheaply. This is just a case of, I think, a player trying to, you know, again, get the better of both players, essentially, because Reguilon also went down as well, even though he was the one that you know, pushed the long. The referee is giving himself a bit of a problem now. I think the teams are a problem, because Southampton's aggressive approach, coupled with the way Spurs are trying to combat it by going down with every little bit of contact, is making this a very hard game to referee.
Yes, he's got his work cut out for him at the moment, Anthony Taylor. As Crystal Palace are now 3-0 up over Norwich City. They're running away with it in this first period of 45 minutes. Jeffrey Schlupp has got his name on the score sheet as well. Thankfully, Shane Long is now back on his feet and will be taken off the field in order to just receive further treatment. Doesn't look like he's going to have to go off for any concussion issues at this moment in time. So yet another replay of it. I mean, Reguilón never once looks to try and get out of the way, but he is looking to stop Shane Long's run there. And Reguilón has been in the thick of things over the course of this game. He's a number of fouls on Kyle Walker-Peters. That's been a battle over the course of this game. Now he's left one in on Shane Long, so only time will tell if maybe there's a bit of a reaction from the Saints players to that. So we have around a minute and a half remaining of these 45 minutes. I'm sure we're going to have a good amount of added on time for the 2 goals, the penalty and the stoppage there for Shane Long. And imagine maybe 3 minutes of added time.
Yeah, I mean, vital that Saints get into half-time with no further damage. You know, they've gone down to 10. They've reorganised to a certain extent here with a 4-4-1 formation, but probably there could be some tinkering at half-time from Arsenal just to improve the solidity around that. I think Valerie's not really a solid centre-back option there. You know, Armstrong's peeled out. He could probably do all right left-hand side, Armstrong. He is disciplined. He will get back and help out his full-back, but, you know, there were sort of square pegs in round holes at the moment. I think it's got to get through to half-time here, no further damage, and reorganise from there.
Yes, as Kane tries to find Dele Alli, poked away by Roman Perro, picked up by Winks. Has he been caught by Shane Long? No, says the referee. Højbjerg will now spread it towards Ben Davies on this left-hand side. Here's Reguilón, back towards Højbjerg again. Under no real pressure from a Saints player because they're just trying to hold their shape and stop the gaps, but then Son has got through the defence in towards the area, comes out of it again to find Reguilón on the left-hand side. Reguilón back towards Ben Davies. Held up by Ward-Prowse, and then Højbjerg in turn will just send it back towards Eric Dyer. Of course, Højbjerg back in his old stomping grounds, the former Southampton captain. Winks will find Højbjerg again. He will inch his way forward before finding Reguilón, who gets away from Ward-Prowse. Then it's a lunging tackle. That could be a really sore one.
It could be a yellow, that.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a yellow card as well, and that has been coming from Reguilón. He's been flying into tackles over the course of this half. It's a stonewall yellow card. We're going to see a replay of it if it was 1 foot or 2. I mean, I think he does get the ball, but just in the way he goes into it, he is out of control, so I think that is the right decision all the same.
Ticks all the boxes for a yellow card, that one, Will. He's gone to ground. Doesn't get there first, takes the man and ball at the same time, but he's gone through the man. It's just a yellow card, and it's just stupid from Reguilón because he mentioned that he's the one probably Southampton will feel they could get sent off. You know, all professional teams do it. You've had a man sent off, you'll get round and go, right, which one of the opponents can we get sent off now? And they'll probably all have gone, well, Reguilón, look, Walker-Peters has given him a bit of a run around in the early stages. He's made a few fouls, and there you go. 5 minutes later, he's in the book, and now he's, you know, probably walking a tightrope for most of the second half, unless Conte decides to take it out of the referee's hands and change it.
Which I think from a managerial point of view would make the most sense, of course, whether or not he does that at half-time or lets it go for a little bit as Perro breaks down the left-hand side. His cross blocked well by Dele Alli. Perro and Alli just having a few words with each other. I don't think there's any sort of malice to it. Just a slight disagreement, but nothing else for it. Obviously, now that Sligo has been sent off, they now lack that long throw, Merchant, which, of course, led to their opening goal.
Yeah, probably they'll look to just try and work a corner or something like that now. Try and. Yeah, but it does take one of the weapons out of their artillery, absolutely, their artillery, I should say.
Yes, as here is Perro, does well to get away from Dele Alli, lovely skill, and to get it through the legs of Emerson Royal, but then it's Sanchez that makes the clearance out of play for a throw-in for Southampton, midway inside the Tottenham Hotspur half. At the moment, the Saints ending the half the stronger. It was the 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half, I should have mentioned. We have now almost played 2 minutes of it, so just the sole minute remaining. Both the other 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League are still going on as well. Crystal Palace 3, Norwich 0, and Watford 1, West Ham 2, as Royal makes the clearance, picked up by Bednarek, who will take no chances in nodding that ball out for a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur. As Harry Kane will come over to take this. Can confirm it has now gone to the break at Vicarage Road. Watford 1, West Ham 2, the latest score there. Here's Eric Dyer, now finding support on the left-hand side in Davies. who aims towards Son, intercepted by Ward-Prowse, and now Diallo will bring this ball forward. Only really Shane Long in support ahead of him, and said he'll go back towards Walker-Peters. Bit of a heavy pass, but Walker-Peters will play it down the line via a deflection. Picked up by Ben Davies, then Shane Long as he fouled Davies. No, says the referee, but it will be a throw-in for Tottenham inside their own half. Here is Eric Dyer to bring this ball forward in the final 5 seconds. I don't think they're going to have enough time for another attack as Winks spreads it towards Emerson Royal. Maybe there is going to be one final attack. Here's Dele Alli on the edge of the area. Well tackled by Bednarek. Ali getting towards the right-hand side. His cross into the area will find Harry Kane. Looks to try and get a shot away, and he does. He was stumbling. Did well to get him out of his feet, but he couldn't direct his effort on target. And we're not going to have time for the goal kick either. The half-time whistle has now been blown. We're going into the break. Southampton 1, Tottenham 1. And we'll see you in the second half.
Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Son inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Son inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Son inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Son inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Son inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Son inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Son inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs, dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Sol inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs. Dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right-footed strike through a crowd of bodies found the back of the net. But Southampton were undone with a ball through their defence, which saw Salisu then chop down Son inside the penalty area. It was Salisu's third foul in the space of 10 minutes and resulted in his second yellow. He was sent off. Harry Kane stepped up, dispatched the penalty, and at half-time it's Saints 1, Tottenham 1. Half-time at St Mary's, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Saints by far the better team for the first 30-odd minutes of this one, and taking the lead from a long throw-in that was not well dealt with by Spurs. Dropped on the edge of the box, and James Ward-Prowse with a right foot. Yeah, well, welcome back. Second half just about to get underway at St Mary's. It looks like Southampton are going with the same 10 that finished the first half, obviously after the dismissal of Mohamed Salisu, but Spurs have made a change. Antonio Conte has recognised what was patently obvious to all, and that Southampton were trying to get Reguilon sent off. Sergio Reguilon has been replaced by Matt Doherty at the break, and referee Anthony Taylor has dodged the bullet there, I suppose. Conte's certainly made his life a little bit easier as Saints get us underway. Long ball forward, finding Long on the right-hand side, headed in the field, and Davis will let this one run over the line for a goal kick. So, Will, what can Saints do here? They're a man down. They're up against a very clever manager with a team full of world-class players who haven't quite been on it so far today, but how do they get the initiative back in this game?
That's the question, isn't it? I'm really not too sure. The initial plan I had in my head was just to attack Sergio Reguilon and try and even the playing field again. Now that change has been made, they're sort of back to square one. So it might be a case of just have to sit back and absorb as much of the pressure as possible and just hit them on the counter. They did look dangerous on the counter at times, Southampton, but maybe just try and see this out until like the 65th minute and make sure that they are remaining on level terms, and maybe they can bring on some more attacking impetus, the likes of their top goal scorer Armando Broja, who's on the bench alongside possibly Nathan Redmond as well. They've got players to bring on if they do need a goal, but it's whether they forfeit the shape in order to try and get that, because at this moment in time, people say a point would be very valuable for them.
Yeah, a point would be a pretty good outcome from this point onwards as Højbjerg gets on the ball. Had a quiet first half. Looks for Kane on the half turn, trying to flick it on there for Emerson Royal, but it's cleared by Saints. This one is kept under control by Long, and he makes it stick, and he's got support here from Armstrong on the right. He manages to play it back safely to Walker Peters, and Southampton cross the halfway line now with the ex-Tottenham player, who knocks it back to Valery. Yeah, Saints can't be as aggressive as they were in the first half. Now there's no pressing to be done now, a man down. They've got to fall back quickly into their defensive shape, and they've got to hold a deeper line, I think, on the edge of the box and stop Spurs from getting behind them, which was the key to the penalty award when Son made a great run in behind Salisu, brought him down. It's back with Forster now, who hits a chip ball in the direction of Armstrong, headed down by Davis, and then Dyer's been given a dodgy back pass there to deal with, but he manages to work it back to Doherty for his first significant touch. The Republic of Ireland international brings it forward and plays a casual ball back into his penalty area for Harry Winks. Winks, I thought, was dominated in that first half by Ward-Prowse, but he did get away from the Southampton skipper for the key pass for the Son goal, so credit to him for that as the ball's played forward down the right. Dele Alli looks very leggy as he tries to take on Bednarek, and Bednarek just puts it out for a throw.
Yes, and it's a lovely little ball down that line there for Dele Alli, who was in space, and Bednarek did well to get over and make that clearance. Both those players look very, very tired in running for that ball. So, I mean, Bednarek is going to have to play the remainder because he's the only real out-and-out centre-back that's within the entire squad now that Salisu is going to be suspended. And Ali, well, he just hasn't had the greatest of games. I'm not sure how long he'll have remaining on this field for Antonio Conte's side. Just always let you know that West Ham have now gone 3-1 up away from home against Watford. Jared Bowen has got his name on the score sheet.
Emerson Royal with a little shift of the ball and tries a cross, which is headed clear by Diallo. Now brought forward by Armstrong, but he's run into traffic and Spurs have it back. And I think Spurs are going to get about 75-80% possession, maybe more in the second half, the way things are panning out here as Højbjerg lifts it out towards the open man Doherty on the left. Cutting in on his right foot, puts an early ball in towards the back post, dealt with by Perro with a volley. Drops on the edge of the box, Davis gets it under and then hits it into the legs of Long. It's come back towards Armstrong now. Long is alongside him if he can play the ball, but he's been corralled by 3 or 4 Spurs defenders. Manages to get it back toward Prowse, but Spurs have forced Saints back into their own half. Here's Walker Peters, looking for somebody to make a run for him, and then he passes it nowhere near the feet of Shane Long, and that's going to be gobbled up by Spurs again in defence with Eric Dyer. Dyer brings it forward. Now finds Højbjerg on the half turn. Little ball in towards Son, challenged by Walker Peters. Played back in behind the full-back now for Doherty, trying to run onto it. Walker Peters scampers back to get goal side. Doherty on his right foot again. Plays it back to Son via Højbjerg. Son's ball curling towards the right-hand side is going to be kept in by... no, it's not, because Emerson Royal's made a right mess of that one and kicked it out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's not going to see that one back, Emerson Royal. I mean, the ball over to him is an awkward one to bring down, although he does have time to actually bring the ball onto the deck and then pick out a cross. He's just a little bit too over-eager in that regard. He just tries to hammer it on the volley and it's sliced way away from danger. We're just seeing a stat on our screen. Since December the 8th, 2018, Southampton have dropped 73 points from winning positions. That's 12 more than any other side in that time frame. So Hasenhüttl will be used to forfeiting a lead. It's just whether or not he can sort of get enough energy from his side in order to hold on to what will be a valuable point.
Yeah, I think December 2018 was around about the time that Hasenhüttl was appointed as well. So that's probably why that stat was cut off at that point as Long heads it on. And now it's knocked back to Dyer, who heads it down. Finds Winks in space. He can turn and assess his options and knocks it wide to Sanchez again on the right. He knocks it further wide to Royal, who's hugging the touchline, coming past Armstrong, who's trying to get back at him. Royal holds it up. There's a challenge from Armstrong, which is probably going to result in a free kick, and maybe even worse for Adam Armstrong because he's gone in out of control. And the referee, if he's going to be consistent, has got to produce the yellow card there. And
that is exactly what he's done. And you've got to give Anthony Taylor credit there. I think he's had a fantastic game as a referee today. And he has been, like you say, consistent. And Armstrong just too over-eager. And it's a Stonewall yellow card as well. He's caught the back of the Achilles of the Brazilian. It's going to be a really sore one for the Brazilian defender. And Armstrong rightfully going into the referee's notebook for what is the third yellow card, or technically fourth yellow card for Southampton if you cast the 2 yellow cards that Saliso got. And now he's got to walk a tightrope as well.
Southampton's next Premier League match, by the way, is at home to Newcastle on the 2nd of January. So I suppose that's some relief for them. But how are they going to have any players for it as things stand? Here comes Son with a free kick, and he's been heading towards goal. I think there might have been offside there. It was a stooping header at the near post from Dyer, but I think the flag was up anyway.
Yes, it's once again it's a free kick that's tantalisingly whipped in, but once again Southampton's defenders playing the offside trap to perfection, playing everyone offside. And yes, it's a good save from Forster, but from set pieces they've looked really, really dominant defending so far, Southampton. It's just open play that they're getting caught out, especially with the makeshift centre-back partnership of Benarek and Jan Valery. A little bit surprised that Valery is still remaining in the centre of defence. I thought maybe Hasenhüttl might look towards possibly Oriol Romeu, who's obviously a holding midfielder by trade, but he can fill in the centre of defence if required. But he looks to be showing the faith for the Frenchman for the time being.
Here is Royal down the right, holds it up and knocks it back to Davinson Sanchez. Played 7 minutes in the second half as Winks gets on the ball, tries to lift the ball over the top for Kane. Kane's in behind, great first touch from Kane, he shoots and he scores! Harry Kane gets his second of the game, a lovely ball from Harry Winks to find him as well, but once Kane controlled, you kind of knew what was going to happen after that, and it's Saints 1, Tottenham 2.
Yeah, the game has been fully turned on its head now, and it's a wonderful finish from Harry Kane. There's an even better pass from the central midfield by Harry Winks. He sees the run of Kane. It looks like he is onside. He's timed his run perfectly, and Walker Peters just can't get back in time in order to put off the number 10. Even an out-of-form Harry Kane, if he's in that position, you're expecting him to score, and that's exactly what he does. It's hard, it's low into the bottom corner, and Forster just can't get down low in time. And you think now that Tottenham have that man advantage, they've got that goal advantage, surely under Antonio Conte they're not going to let it slip.
I would think not. No pressure on the ball there, was there? Shane Long was the closest to Harry Winks, but he just had too much time to pick out the pass. It's a lovely drifted ball over the top of the Saints defence, caught square. Harry Kane timing his run to perfection. We've seen the VAR check now, I think, or we've seen the replays of it. I don't think there'll be any issue here, and the referee is saying there is an offside.
Wow.
Would you believe? Wow. So I didn't see that.
No, nor did I. It looked for all the world that he was onside. We're going to see a replay now. I mean, I don't think we're going to get the lines, unfortunately, but it looks to me that Benarek is clearly playing him onside. But granted, the angle that we're given, it is on a slant, so we don't fully know. We're now actually getting the lines.
It's because Kane's leaning forward and his armpit. It's an armpit offside, which I thought we were meant to be getting rid of.
Yeah, I'm in the same position as you. I didn't think we were still going to those tight margins, but it's a massive let-off for Southampton, and it means that they do still have an opportunity.
Yeah, and in the penalty area now, as Southampton try and get a shot away, it's deflected. It's going to make it easy for Lloris. It was a little cutback from Armstrong toward Prowse and a left-footed shot from him. But Spurs got something on. Now Spurs counter-attack here with Son, edge of the penalty area, up against Valery. Son, little lollipop, goes to his left-hand side. Shot is stopped by Valery's block, and Saints can march it out of their defence. But there's a nice sort of flow to this game after that offside decision. It seems like the gloves are off from both teams again. Yes,
it's now more end-to-end. There's a bit more gaps to utilise, and maybe that goal being ruled out from Southampton's point of view, it's just put an extra spring in their step. They want to be a bit more progressive and attackive to try and keep Tottenham penned back until they can create chances for themselves. Yes, they're going to be leaving gaps open, but if you don't attack, you're not going to score. And maybe Harsson has just said the best way of defence is attack at the moment.
Yeah, so it's Southampton, 10-man Southampton 1, Tottenham 1. Spurs have had 2 goals disallowed in this game for offside. First one was about a yard offside, maybe a bit more. Second one was, hair's breadth, should we say. Harry Kane, armpit hair's breadth, as this ball's stopped as Long tries to play it through. And Winks turns on the edge of his penalty. He's got to be careful here. He got caught in the first half doing the same, but he's all right this time with support behind him from Dyer. And now Højbjerg drives out of defence. Finds Ali on the halfway line. Back it goes to Winks. Son makes a run through the middle. It's ignored and gone wide to Emerson. The Brazilian knocks it back to Winks, who's definitely taking control of that midfield area now. There's one less man in it from a Southampton perspective. It's played up towards Kane. Kane trying to turn Bednarek. Gets the ball taken away from him there. Ward-Prowse tries to bring it away. He feels contact in from behind from Ali. Goes down. The referee says play on. Diallo to Long, who was caught in possession there by Dyer. And now Son takes it forward. It's scrappy in the midfield, but Spurs have got it wide to Emerson Royal, who feints to cross and now goes on the outside, but he's been shown the line and he's been dealt with by Perrault, knocks it behind for a corner.
Yeah, well dealt with there by Perrault. He stayed with Royal the entire time. He tried to utilise his acceleration to get away from the Frenchman. Perrault read the little skill and the little dribble well, and he hammers it out of play for a corner, but Royal, he's very dangerous on that right-hand side, just unable to get around his man or to get that cross in, but corner kicks could still be dangerous.
Taken short by Spurs, back to Winks, then Son, the corner taker, originally gets back on it from an angle close to the box, shifting his feet, going on the outside, standing the ball to the back post. It's taken a deflection. Or has it? Yeah, it has. It's going to be another corner. So Spurs are starting to impose themselves in this game now, as you'd expect, really, with a man advantage, but they were so lethargic at times in that first half. The Tottenham fans who are behind the goal there attacking are in good voice right now, as another short corner is taken by Son, who gets it back again, puts a low ball into the near post, dealt with by Bednarek, and this will go out for a throw-in this time. Son trying his best to open up this stubborn Southampton defence, as Winks has got the ball. He's going to leave this one for Emerson Royal to throw in. Drops it to the feet of Winks. Played back to Højbjerg deep in midfield. Saints, everybody behind the ball in the red and white stripes, as Spurs working across to Doherty, the half-time substitute. And now Davis finding Dyer. It's patient from Tottenham. Winks again to Royal. No way down that right-hand side for him, although he's trying to cut infield now and he's lost the ball. Diallo knocks it back to Perrault, just hoofs it forward. One for Long to try and challenge for, but Dyer judged it perfectly, chests it down, keeps Spurs going in the right direction towards the Southampton goal. Doherty, very much crab-like when he gets the ball on this left-hand side, because he always wants it on his right foot. That could be something that Southampton might get a bit of respite from, because Spurs will, I suppose, naturally try and target the right-hand side. They've got the natural right foot of Emerson Royal over there. Dele Alli again is trying to make a run into the channel, but just not seemingly really catching the eye of his teammates, who don't pass it in his general direction. Højbjerg again, he shifts it out towards Doherty. He's got some support now from Davis overlapping. Doherty knocks it back to Højbjerg, 25 yards out. Now they've shifted it to Davis, who is a natural left footer. He puts a cross into the near post. It's flicked wide by Son for a corner. Must have come off a Saints defender last.
Yeah, it was a decent little ball in that by Davies, seeing the run of Son, whose run wasn't really tracked by any Saints player whatsoever. I think it comes off maybe the shin of Jan Valery, so it's going to be yet another corner kick. Hopefully this time, from a Tottenham point of view, they'll actually whip the ball into the area, because these short corners aren't really working for them, but they're being very persistent with them.
Looks like Son is looking into the penalty area this time, although it might just be a bit of disguise from the South Korean. He comes up to the ball, hits it in towards the near post, headed away by Bednarek, drops to Winks, who will invite Son to do better with his second attempt here. Goes on the outside of Walker-Peters, comes back on the in, knocks it to Winks. This cross is too close to Foster. Forster makes an easy catch at the far post, and Southampton will be pretty pleased with how they dealt with that bit of pressure there.
Yeah, they will be. They really made it difficult for Tottenham to break forward there. So we see yet another replay of that offside given against Harry Kane for his disallowed goal. I'm still not 100% convinced it really should have been offside, despite the lines showing that he was, like you say, just an armpit hair off. But yes, although they've been a little bit sluggish at times, Southampton, coming out to the wings to actually pressurise the cross, they've done well to marshal any ball that is actually whipped into the area.
Saints on the attack now with Perrault. Faced up by Emerson Royal, he goes back to the support of Armstrong, centre of the field. Now looking for Walker-Peters, edge of the box, trying to wriggle away from the attentions of Doherty, puts a low cross in there, it's stabbed away by Davis and should be cleared now by Son. Plays it through the referee's legs there to find Winks, and there's a foul off the ball behind the point of where Saints have it, but now they've worked it to Armstrong, who hits a shot, takes a deflection, bounces kindly for Spurs, and Lloris can pick it up.
Yes, I think they're appealing for a handball there by Eric Dyer from the effort from Stuart Armstrong. I don't think there was anywhere near enough in that for a penalty to be awarded, as Kane does well to hold on to it as well. But Southampton, they're biding their time really, really well. They know they've got that man disadvantage, but they're waiting for that perfect opportunity to find their way through the gaps. It looks like they're seeing another couple of changes by the looks of things, a change apiece from Southampton and Tottenham Hotspur. Can't quite work out the two players that are being brought on. I think for Tottenham, it might be Lucas Moura that's stripped and ready.
Yeah, it looked like it was maybe a bit of more time for Tottenham. This long ball forward is brought down brilliantly by Long. Back to goal. He's got Davies hacking away at him. The ball comes to Walker-Peters down the right. Goes back to the support of Ward-Prowse in midfield. Now Diallo, who's had a steady game in the middle of the park, plays a nice ball out towards Perrault on the left. Perrault takes it in his stride, puts a ball into the penalty area. It might not drop there for Long. Long challenging there with Dyer, knocks the defender down. The referee says throw in. Dyer was adamant there was a free kick that he was due, and the referee just says get up, basically.
Yeah, well, I'll be intrigued to see a replay of that. Long was very quick to try and win that ball. Don't think he makes any contact whatsoever. But then again, I'm not sure he makes any contact on Dyer. I think Dyer just feels the pressure from Long and goes down, like plenty of Tottenham players have done over the course of this game, looking for a free kick, and Anthony Taylor's just beginning to cotton onto it. Dele
Alli might be going off here. Yeah, I think he's had the hook. The inevitable shepherd's crook that was coming from that performance, and it is Lucas Moura who comes on for him, wearing number 27, fluorescent colours. The Spurs change is made at this point. Southampton haven't yet made their change that was expected, because their player was ready to come on, but it might be because there's a player down. Is it a Spurs player, or it's a Spurs player down actually? And I can't quite see who it is, but that player is receiving some treatment. So West Ham 3-1 up against Watford, and I think it's 3-0 to Palace in the other game, isn't it, against Norwich?
Yeah,
and the
correct.
other 2 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Still haven't seen signs of this Southampton change. It's
well, it was Armstrong that was down for Southampton there. So it wasn't actually a Tottenham player injured. So maybe they just held off bringing a man on just in case Armstrong wasn't able to continue. Although I'm really not exactly sure what injury Armstrong picked up, whether it was a muscular injury or if he actually had a bit of contact to him.
Quite a few substitutes warming up for both teams now. Oliver Skip is warming up on the sideline, as Perrault is about to take this throw in now. Saints momentarily down to 9 now, because Armstrong has had to go off, having had treatment on the pitch. So when Perrault throws it on, he'll be desperately keen to get back on and bring his team up to their almost full complement. This ball's hooked away by Moura. Kane trying to back in, is beaten there in the air by Bednarek, forced to Diallo. Strong play on the ball from him. He shrugs off the challenge from Winks, slips into Armstrong, 25 yards out, might go for a goal, has a dip into a crowd of bodies, and it's headed away by Højbjerg. Now Son tries to scurry away with it, surrounded by 4 striped shirts, knocks it back to Doherty, and Spurs have control on the edge of their own penalty area now. Well, Armstrong is on in his left wing position at the moment, left midfield position, as Spurs try and break the lines again, finding Son back to Højbjerg. And now Davis on the left-hand side. Doherty is further forward on that side. Doherty towards the edge of the penalty area, finds Son turning on the corner of the box. Back to Højbjerg. Now Emerson Royal tries to make a run in behind Perrault. Royal heads it down, only as far as Armstrong though, and he finds Perrault just making an angle for him down the left-hand side. He's miscontrolled that one. It goes out for a throw-in, I think, before the pass was played forward, and it's going to be a Spurs throw.
Yes, but that's just their final ball is sometimes letting them down at the moment, Spurs, and you can just see Conte, although compared to what we've seen in the past, maybe he's actually keeping his cool surprisingly well, the Italian. But Tottenham still getting a good deal of possession inside the Southampton half. It's whether or not they can really get that killer ball into the area. Crossing from a crossing point of view from Tottenham, from open play, they've been really, really poor. Goes
back to Dyer now. Conte is way outside his technical area, trying to get some instructions to his team right now. Fourth official might have to have a word about that, as Spurs play it back to Davis, 30 yards out, further wide to Doherty now, edge of the penalty area, shifts it, puts a cross in towards the back post. Royals coming in on it. He's taller than Perrault. In fact, it was Armstrong who challenged him. Now Perrault loses out to Winks. Spurs quickly winning it back. They've got some intensity now, with more on the pitch as well. Involved there, wide to Winks. Lovely ball into the penalty area for Son. Was he offside? He's to the byline, couldn't get in, and it's come off the body of Bednarek. Both sides appealing here, and I think the decision's gone against Spurs. I think you might be right. It might have been given as a goal kick, but a lovely through ball by, I believe it was Winks yet again on the right-hand side. His passing's been fantastic, the Tottenham number 8. And Bednarek stands up for as long as possible, decides to go down right at the final moment to make the block. And look at the replay, it does just come off the knee of Heung-min Son before going out for a goal kick, so that definitely is the right decision. He's been a pretty good signing, hasn't he, Jan Bednarek, since Southampton brought him to England from Polish football. I think it was maybe Lech Poznan they signed him from, and he was very much a raw talent from a Polish league. And not many players make that big jump from the Polish league to the Premier League, but he was given his chance quite early on, and he's really flourished. A fully fledged Poland international, regular, trains against Robert Lewandowski, and he plays against some of the best in the world in the Premier League, and he's doing a good job handling Harry Kane et al. Today. Wasn't his fault that the penalty was awarded for the foul by Salisu. Ball over the top now. Trying to release Son, who's peeled away to the right-hand side. He leaves this one for Royal, and the flag stays down because he does so. Cross goes in, hides the back post. Forster's come, and he's managed to... Oh, he's dropped it, and it's gone in! And it's a horrendous error from Fraser Forster, and Spurs think they've scored. The referee has other ideas, though. Yeah, I think he has chalked it off for a foul, so it's yet another goal ruled out for Tottenham Hotspur, although this is going to be checked by VAR if it is going to be allowed. It's going to be a horror show from Fraser Forster, who goes up. I think he does have it in both his arms. Doherty isn't really aware of what's going on. It might just be the fact that it's stuck between the back and Forster's arms. I'm not sure how much Doherty's actually done wrong there. I mean, whether it is a goal, I don't think Doherty can realistically claim it. Surely it's going to be an own goal from the heel of Fraser Forster. But I have a feeling this might get... Oh, I was going to say it might get overturned. But typically, as the replays end, we can see the game is resuming. So it is going to be chalked off for the third goal ruled out now for Tottenham. Yeah, it's becoming a theme in the game, isn't it? The disallowed goals for Tottenham. I think it was any consistency. We saw one earlier this season ruled out when the goalkeeper had one hand on the ball, didn't we, when it was kicked. And of course, they then fell back on the rather ambiguous... laws, the wording of the laws about whether there was control there from the keeper with just one hand on the ball. If that goal was ruled out, then there was definitely a shove on the keeper there before Forster knocked it in. So I think that one's fair enough. We've reached the midpoint of the second half in this game. Spurs labouring at the moment to find that goal to get them in front. It's Southampton 1, Tottenham 1 till full time now. It's going to be Will Maxwell. Thank you very much, Simon. As Lucas whips the ball in, it's turned away by Armstrong, only as far as Winks. It'll fall to Heung-min Son. Opportunity here for Tottenham. Son gets around Forster. His shot blocked by Valerie, but he is going to be judged to be an offside anyway. Possibly even a foul by Harry Winks. Possible handball by the Tottenham number 8, who for me has probably been the best player for Tottenham today. So yes, another replay of that foul against the goalkeeper. There weren't many appeals from Southampton initially. Jan Bednarek just had his head in his hands expecting the goal to be awarded. I mean, if I'm going to be critical of Forster there, I mean, he's got away with one a little bit because, like I say, there was some contact, but he comes with an underarm catch. He comes to trying to catch that one to his chest. He's 6'6". He should come out there with his hands over his head, catch that one clear of the head of the Tottenham player, and just deal with the situation. He doesn't. He gives Spurs a chance of knocking him off his stride because he comes with the wrong sort of technical type of catch, I think, that.
I would have to agree with you. It was a really bizarre bit of goalkeeping by Fraser Forster as Lucas Moura turns away from Roman Perro, appeals for a foul, nothing awarded by Anthony Taylor. Perro then goes for goal from around 35-40 yards out, blocked, turned away by Ward-Prowse, picked up again by Lucas Moura. It's now very open, this game, as Højbjerg aims to find Heung-min Son, who takes on Kyle Walker-Peters, supporting the overlap in Doherty. It's Matt Doherty trying to put it through the legs of Fraser Forster, but this time it is solid goalkeeping by number 44. Kept himself big and got a vital save with his left boot.
Yeah, he's redeemed himself there, hasn't he? That was really good goalkeeping one-on-one. Son does the right thing there. He sees the overlap from Doherty, plays it to him. Maybe, you know, a more natural left footer would have gone with the left foot. He tried to poke it with his right, and he's given Forster a chance to get his foot down and put that one behind for a corner. Yes,
I have to agree. His son looks to take this corner. None of the ball is touching the corner quadrant, if the linesman noticed that, but he's going to get away with it. Whips the ball in, headed away by Bednarek. Falls to Doherty, who catches it on the volley. Not well. It falls back to him, and then it's a sliced effort by the Irishman, and that goes way wide of the goal. He's had a bit of a torrid time since his move from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Hasn't really been able to be the first choice, and his end product hasn't always been great either. And at that time, I mean, you can understand why he's gone for goal. When it falls kindly to you like that, you're always going to want to try and put your name up in lights and go for the scorching effort. But there, just got his angles all wrong.
Yes. Yeah, he's looked like a bit of a, I don't know, he's looked like a bit of a park play in the last couple of involvements, hasn't he, Doherty there, but just possibly seen a handball in the build-up to the Son chance, which provided the free kick to Southampton about 5 minutes ago. Anyway, meantime, substitution taking place right now, and Shane Long is off, and looks like it's going to be Armando Broja coming on.
It is Armando Broja who's coming on, the former Chelsea man. Long coming off in his stead, so the Southampton top goal scorer now enters the field of play. He's got pace, he's got physicality. He's a good target man striker to have, and with around 20 minutes plus added on time for stoppages, he might just get his opportunity to be the Southampton hero today. Here's Forster with the long ball forward, headed away by Eric Dyer. Only as far as Bednarek, who takes no chances and will just head the ball out of play for a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur midway inside the Southampton half. Silent's going to let that go for Matt Doherty. In turn, it's going to go back for Davies. Here is Eric Dyer to bring this ball forward for Spurs. Setting off down the right-hand side, Davinson Sanchez, now with Winks. Will hold off Broja. Here's Emerson Royal. Back again for Sanchez this time. Every Tottenham player, bar Hugo Lloris, inside the Southampton half, forcing the Saints further and further backwards. Here's Højbjerg. Winks. Now with Moura once again. Sanchez down the right-hand side, finding Emerson Royal. Back with Son. Royal will find Sanchez. Southampton doing well to keep Tottenham at bay. Højbjerg to Lucas Moura. Loses out to Ward-Prowse, who hammers the ball away, but will be picked up again by Eric Dyer on the halfway line. It's real back to the walls defending from the Saints, who, as it currently stands with this point, would leapfrog Brentford into 13th place. Tottenham would actually be overtaken by West Ham as it currently stands, with the results going against them. West Ham would go up to 5th on 31 points, Tottenham remaining in 6th on 30 points, 5 points behind 4th place Arsenal with 2 games in hand. Ball through towards Son inside the area, gets across in through the legs of Bednarek, but he will let that run for Forster to gather, and he will just take his time and run down the clock before making the clearance. And, well, I feel like this could be the theme of the game now, with Tottenham just marauding forward and putting attack after attack against this Southampton goal.
Yeah, I think there's still plenty of time for them, though. They don't need to panic, and they clearly won't panic. You know, they've got good players out there, experienced players out there, and they know that it'll just take one moment of, you know, I guess just ordinary play, really, from Harry Kane and Heung-min Son to break this Southampton resistance.
Here is Harry Winks, I should say, over the top, intending for Emerson Royal. Forster was quick off his line to shepherd the ball away for a goal kick. Royal utilising acceleration to get away from the Southampton defence there. Looks like we're seeing another change getting ready for Tottenham Hotspur. And maybe rather surprising, it's going to be Brian Hill who's going to come on, the young Spaniard. Another attacking threat to bring on. See, they are going to go for the jugular, you'd imagine, but that's now all 3 substitutions are going to be made by Southampton. By Tottenham Hotspur, I should say. And with likes of maybe Oliver Skip and Tanguy and Ndombele on the bench as well. Are you surprised that it's Hill that's being called upon?
I think he's clearly worried here, isn't he, Conte, that there's a chance here maybe for Southampton with Broha.
Broha on the right-hand side trying to dribble at Ben Davies, who gets a toe to it, but can only knock the ball out for a corner kick for the Saints. And now Broja's on the field of play. He's also got that aerial ability in the area to test this Tottenham defence. They're not the greatest of dribbling at the legs of Ben Davies there from Broja.
No, he's direct. I think he's the sort of player that can play up front on his own, more so than Long, who needs a partner. He needs somebody to flick it onto him, basically. So, Broha's got that more all-round game, which I think you can certainly see him causing more of a threat on his own up front with no support around him.
So Ward-Prowse is the man who's going to go over and take this corner kick, and I think they are going to go long into the area rather than go short. Ward-Prowse so dangerous from set pieces. Outswinger into the area, heading for Diallo, cleared away by Emerson Royal. Headed back by Roman Perro, only goes as far as Højbjerg, who looks to set off Heung-min Son, but it beats him, and it's going to be hammered away by Jan Valery. And now Ben Davies will bring this ball forward for Spurs. Overlap in Doherty, won't utilise him, instead will go towards Lucas Moura. There's acres of space for Royal on the right-hand side. Instead, he's aiming for Heung-min Son on the edge of the area. Here is the South Korean Son, well tackled back by Adam Armstrong in the end. The forward turn left mid for today. Lovely tracking back by him. But Southampton once again having all the players bar Armando Broja sitting behind the ball as Tottenham attack once more. Doherty spreading it towards Winks, lifting it over the top for Doherty again, who with an audacious volley with the outside of his right boot, completely the wrong shot choice from him, is a sign of a player who's very much one-footed. It was a lovely run by him and he was well picked out by Winks, but less said about the shot the better.
Yeah, I mean, he's not improved his sort of standing in the game from where he looked like a park player a few minutes ago. He still looks like one there. He's just a fish out of water, isn't he? He's so one-footed and he's playing on his wrong side, and all the chances being created should be taken, left-footed, and he's trying to curl his right toe round it there, and just looks so bad. Anyway, Emerson's gone off to be replaced by Brian Hill. So again, there's going to be no natural left-footer in the Spurs forward line.
And that could be really costly for them, as Jan Valery is on the deck receiving some treatment. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to continue. I think it's his left calf that is causing the issues. Man, he hasn't played a great deal of first-team football for Southampton over the past few seasons, although he did spend the last half of the season of the 2021 campaign at the Championship side Birmingham City. Valery is up on his feet, slowly making his way off the field, and he'll just receive a bit more treatment, and I think he's going to try and run off this knock. Whatever it was that forced him down. And he's going to take on a bit more water as well to try and compose himself, as Forster will look to lift this long. It means for the time being, as brief as it may be, Southampton will be playing with just 9 players. Valery is now allowed back onto the field of play. Forster just hammering it out for a throw-in for Tottenham to allow Valery back on to the field. Antonio Conte was seeing pictures of just barking further orders at his side. Here's Højbjerg. Lovely through ball to find Doherty on the left-hand side, supporting Kane and in Son. Doherty lifting it towards the back post, intending for Lucas Moura, who gets the header onto it, but it goes straight into the arms of Forster, who once again gathers and falls to the deck to run down the clock once more. 13 minutes remain of this game. Listening to unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Southampton 1, Tottenham 1. And
a bit predictable, isn't it, from Tottenham?
It is.
Bit. I mean, Southampton are sitting deep, and they're making sure that they've got lots of bodies in the penalty area for those aerial balls. Spurs need to pull them a little bit more out of those positions. Get Bednarek out of that sort of middle of the penalty area. Really work on Valery, because Harry Kane is being marked by Jan Valery, who is just not to his standard, and the Spurs aren't really getting the ball to Harry Kane at the moment.
No, they're really not. Here is Sanchez in possession for Tottenham. Kane offering support. Instead, will go towards Brian Hill. who gets some space there, gets a cross in. Son's header straight at Forster in the end. It was just by the penalty spot. It wasn't a bad effort at all there by the South Korean. Did well to rise high above his marker to get that glancing head onto it. In the end, he actually gets too much contact onto it, so it's straight at the goalkeeper.
Yes, bit of quality from Gil. That's why he's come on, you know, whips a good ball into the near post. And Son, he's underrated in the air, and he's a good header of the ball. And on this occasion, it was just perhaps too good because it was too close to the keeper. It
was just too close to that number 44 for Southampton. As Davies finds Dyer, spread it towards the right-hand side in Sanchez. Still doesn't look like any further changes being readied up by Ralph Hasenhüttl for Southampton. Here is Davies playing it towards the left-hand side now in Doherty. Doherty towards Son. Back towards the Irishman. Doherty will find Højbjerg, not the greatest of passes by the Dane, but he'll find Davies all the same. Back towards the former Southampton captain, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Dyer, shaping up to possibly go for goal from around 30 yards out. Instead, will find Winks and continue his run into the area. Now with Hill on the left-hand side. Now gets a cross in, across the deck, and Forster once again stops it and manages to fall on the ball to once more run down the clock. And like you said earlier, it is very predictable, just going down the wings, getting crosses in, and each time it's being dealt with.
Yeah, they've got a lot of defenders packing the penalty area, and you know, you have to get an absolutely almost miracle cross or pass in there to beat that. You know, they're better off, I think, trying to draw Southampton a little bit out of those positions with more patient play around the box. You know, easier said than done probably, but you know, Spurs, I think they've got to be a little bit more varied in their play. They are being too sort of cross-centric at the moment.
Yes, they need to find another route for success. Spurs at the moment. Rare period of possession here, though, for Southampton as Bednarek spreads it towards Romain Perraud on the left-hand side. Perraud's ball can't find Armstrong. He's going to go straight into the path of Eric Dyer, who looks to bring this ball forward once again for Tottenham Hotspur. Down the line, tending for Brian Hill. Turned away by Perraud, picked up by Broha, who holds off Eric Dyer. And then there's a good tackle by the number 15 to send the ball out for a throw-in for Southampton in line with the halfway line.
That's like the unseen work there, what we just saw from Broha, because, you know, 10 minutes ago, that ball had been back in Spurs' possession. They'd have been at the Southampton defence, but he's basically just used his body strength, used his technical ability to run it to the sideline, win a cheap throw-in, taking 30 seconds off the clock.
Well, looks like possibly Nathan Redmond's getting stripped and ready to come on for Southampton. So maybe it's a case of defending from the front at this moment in time, as Sanchez brings his ball forward yet again for Tottenham Hotspur, finding Harry Winks over into the Southampton half. Space for Doherty on the left-hand side. Here is Matt Doherty finding Son. Back towards Davies, who gets across into the area, intending for Kane. Headed away by Bednarek. It'll fall to Højbjerg. Højbjerg lifts it over the top for Kane. Surely he's offside. Harry Kane will go for goal all the same. It's parried away by Forster. It's going to go out of play, but finally the flag goes out. So it will be a free kick for Southampton. I think it was fairly obvious that Kane was offside there. But finally, there was a bit more variety in the passing play. Højbjerg with a delicate little chip over the defence. Actually, look at the replay. Kane actually might have been onside.
He's so good at finding those little soft areas in the penalty area. Ball was chipped over. Kane stood still. All the Southampton defenders pushed out. That is a hairline decision about whether he was offside or not, but the shot was beaten away. I'm not supposed to be too many complaints, although they could have had a corner there, possibly.
Very possibly, as Nathan Redmond is now going to come on to the field of play, and it's going to be Adam Armstrong who is going to be replaced. He's had a wonderful performance today, Armstrong. I'd say done plenty of defensive work more than attacking when he had to move into the left-hand side of midfield. But he's been a real thorn down that left-hand wing. And now with Redmond, just some fresh legs to do their defensive duties, but also to offer some further attacking impetus in case they do require it, as Bednarek just puts the ball out of play. Didn't want Forster to come out and deal with it. So throw in for Tottenham Hotspur with Doherty on this left-hand side in line with the penalty area. We'll go back towards Harry Winks. Acres of space for Davinson Sanchez to utilise, and does. Here is the Colombian. Sanchez finding Mora inside the area. Air shot to get away from Perraud. Will he keep the ball in play? He will. It's a delicate chip into the area. Kane's header turned away well by Walker-Peters. It falls to Davies on the volley. Again turned away by Walker-Peters. Really brave defending by the Southampton number 2. He is well congratulated by his teammates, and rightfully so.
I think they're congratulating him for the first challenge on Kane, because this is a mismatch. Kane jumping up there with Walker-Peters, who is about 6 inches shorter than him, but Walker-Peters brilliantly positioned to head it away, and then the volley comes in, and he's thrown himself in front of that one as well. I'm not sure whether the keeper would have covered that, but it's brilliant defending from Walker-Peters, yeah, both times.
Yeah, really brave defending as well by Walker-Peters. Unsure if it's actually going into the back of the net or not. Either way, it's really well and sweetly struck by Ben Davies. There's plenty of power onto it, hence why Walker-Peters is still down on the deck, a little bit worse for wear. Hopefully he'll be okay to continue, but he's done well to do his part to keep the scorelines level at 1 apiece. Just always let you know, in the other games it remains Crystal Palace 3, Norwich 0, and Watford 1, West Ham 3. The third goal didn't actually come from Jared Bowen. That one was ruled out for a foul. The third goal came from the penalty spot via Mark Nobles. We see another replay of the goals in this one. Ward-Prowse, the more you look at it, the better it looks. It was just so sweetly struck, but they have to say it wasn't the greatest of defending from Tottenham. Yeah, and it was Ali once again.
Yeah, because just seeing that again, I perhaps didn't recognise it at the time, but Dele Alli is the one who misses the header because his dreadlocks are in his face. You know, he's trying to sort of nod it away when he should be getting power underneath it, hitting it with a sweet spot of his forehead, but you can't get it on the sweet spot of his forehead because his dreadlocks are on top of it. He
shirks away from the header, which sort of cushions it down perfectly for James Ward-Prowse. So it wasn't the greatest bit of defending for a man who's really out of favour and out of confidence, really. He's a player that's been linked with a move away in January, as Davinson Sanchez will find Harry Winks getting away from Armando Broja. Now with Brian Hill. Away from Redmond, goes back towards Sanchez. And now with Dyer once more. Setting off Davies. We'll find Doherty back towards Højbjerg. And Højbjerg in turn will find Eric Dyer, who inches his way forward under no real pressure. Gets across into the area. Turned away by Valerie, only as far as Højbjerg, who aims for Sanchez once more, who's really camped high up the field. Davinson Sanchez. Brian Hill. Away from Redmond, tackled by Diallo as far as Højbjerg, who does well to hold on to possession, finding Doherty. Plenty of players to aim for in the middle if a cross can be put in. Højbjerg then finds Hill, who's now moved towards the left-hand side of the midfield. His cross blocked at source by Walker-Peters. Yet another throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur as they continue to knock on this Southampton door.
They're probing out. This is a little bit better from Spurs because they're not trying to put early crosses in the penalty area when the Saints defence is set. They're trying to probe, they're trying to work those defenders, get them out of position before the attempted final ball goes in. They've actually learned a little bit here, Spurs, I think.
Here's Winks finding Brian Hill on the right-hand side. Hill gets a cross in towards the back post. Header on by Doherty, aiming towards Dyer, cleared away by Valerie and then by Walker-Peters, and then finally by Ward-Prowse. Højbjerg will knock it down though. Redmond almost got there in front of Sanchez. Mora brings it down, lifts it towards Heung-min Son, under pressure from Romain Perraud. They're doing their best to get these vital 3 points to keep the pressure on that coveted 4th Champions League spot. Here's Winks finding Dyer. Now with Mora, turns away from danger, gets a shot away, well parried away by Forster. Out for yet another throw in, but that's what Moore was brought on to do. He's been a nuisance in this defence. That was a really powerful effort, well saved.
Yeah, lovely little turn and a shot straight away. Keeper was ready for it though, and he didn't try to catch it, he just tried to pour it away to safety, and he got it into a good area.
Here's Doherty, lifting it into the area towards Lucas Moura. Another opportunity, and Redmond did well to track back and get his body in front of the Brazilian. Made it really awkward for Moura in the end. Manages to force Moura into a bit of a toe-poked effort. Just couldn't get the ball into his run, into his stride. And you've got to say it's fantastic defending there by the substitutes.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Saints' defence opened up though, didn't it? Just a little chip pass, and Diallo had run out of the way. Perraud had taken a bad angle, and there was space there for Lucas Moura. If he got it under first time, got that under control, that would have been a great chance for the potential winning goal. But the ball didn't quite drop for him. It allowed Redmond to get his body goal side and stop the opportunity.
Here is Eric Dyer coming forward for Tottenham Hotspur, finding Brian Hill away from Diallo. Here's Winks now with Sanchez. Hill is tackled well by Redmond, and now Redmond will bring this ball forward and he'll just poke it long, intending for the run of Armando Broja, but Lloris is there way off his line to cushion the pass out towards Ben Davies, who now brings this forward for Højbjerg. Under 2 minutes remain of the mandatory 90. Valerie with the interception. Again, will lift it long, just trying to be. It's a bit more of a territorial kick than anything, the Frenchman, making the pressure alleviate for a brief moment. As Nuttall applauding his side to just get a little bit more energy in the final few moments of this game. Sanchez finding the Spaniard Brian Hill on the right-hand side. Lucas Moura unable to bring the ball down, and then it's Diallo who comes away with it. Turns away from Højbjerg as well. Fantastic play there by Ibrahima Diallo. And he'll find Walker-Peters. He is tackled by Doherty, who's appealing that he came off Walker-Peters last. It's not going to go his way. Throw in for Southampton just inside the Tottenham Hotspur half. Tati Taylor just tells Walker-Peters to speed up slightly. Walker-Peters looking for support, but he's not given a great deal, as you would expect.
No, I mean, Southampton are just trying to be cute now, aren't they? Game managing these final stages. Tottenham need to be, I don't know, just a little bit quicker in their distribution when they get the ball, and make some more incisive runs, you know. Look for the ball in behind when you've got the ball in a deep area, really, and try and force something that way, rather than just getting concertinaed in the final third when Southampton got everybody behind the ball.
Eric Dyers bring this ball forward for Tottenham Hotspur, finding Lucas Moura. Ball whipped into the area by Winks. It's overhit to not find Højbjerg, but be kept in play by Matt Doherty. Options limited, but he finds Eric Dyer in support. Dyer back towards Davies. Plenty of players in the area in support to put a cross in, and Ted goes back towards Sanchez. Sanchez now finds Winks. Brian Hill looking to get a cross in. Again, Redmond stopping the cross, so he'll have to go back towards Winks once more. Winks down the right-hand side, cross into the area, intending for Lucas Moura, turned away by Bednarek. Winks is going to keep this ball in play. 5 minutes of added time shown at the end of this game. Hill with a cross in, turned away just by Walker-Peters, rather fortunately, you'd have to say, as Armstrong is then held up by Harry Kane, and eventually the Scotsman makes the clearance. Broha can't bring the ball down, and then Højbjerg gets away from Diallo. Here's Harry Kane, spreading it towards space on the right-hand side in Harry Winks. When he looks to lift the ball in, he will. Son's header can't keep it down, and it's Forster that gathers well, and he'll fall to the floor in making sure he can run down the clock. And Tottenham, there was another decent opportunity there.
Yep. Harry to Harry, and Winks tries to return the compliment. I think Kane actually wasn't in the 6-yard box where it was aimed. It was more like Moura or Son. It's come off Son's head, and it's an easy catch for Forster. We've had 1 minute of the 5 additional, and Southampton are... They deserve a point. I think they've battled really hard. I think Walker-Peters had a very good second half as well. There's a chance for Broha, though.
Broha's dispossessed Eric Dyer. Real opportunity. Broha's effort well blocked by Sanchez to turn it over for a corner kick. What a smash and grab that could have been for Southampton. Armando Broja really unexpectedly managed to get away from the Tottenham defence after Davies flicked it back to Eric Dyer. He was unaware of Broja continuing to make the pressure. I think it's just one touch too many there from the Albanian. That gives Sanchez the opportunity to get back and make the block.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Eric Dyer's complaining about. He's just too slow. Bro's too quick. Brilliant covering from Sanchez, though, to get across and throw himself in front of it to go behind for this corner. Southampton can take the time over this, though. They will definitely milk as many seconds off the clock as they can now in this situation.
That's definitely in. West Ham have gone 4-1 up away from home against Watford. Nikola Vlasic getting the 4th goal for the Hammers there. 4th different goal scorer as well in that game for the Hammers, as Ward-Prowse whips the ball into the area, turned away by Doherty, picked up by Redmond. Only really Diallo and Perro in the area for that corner kick, as Perro does well to tackle Eric Dyer. Broja's in support, floats a cross in, but it's well gathered by Hugo Lloris, who then rolls the ball out for Højbjerg, and it is Tottenham who are doing their best to try and get that vital winning goal. Here's Lucas Moura supporting Brian Hill on the left-hand side this time. Held up by Armstrong. Will now find Doherty. Doherty held up by Redmond. Now towards Winks. Will find Sanchez. Cross into the area, turned away by Bednarek. Now Sanchez again. gets across into the area. Lucas Moura's header back across towards Kane, headed away by Walker-Peters, only as far as Højbjerg. He'll go for goal, blocked by Ward-Prowse, turned away by Benrek. They're appealing for handball, nothing awarded. But here's Davinson Sanchez inside the area. Sanchez back towards Winks. He lifts across in towards Harry Kane, who gets his head onto it, but it hits the side netting. It'll go out for a goal kick. They were hammering on the door, but Southampton just about survive.
Fantastic from Walker-Peters again. He's in another mismatch with Kane at the back post, but again he does enough to put the England striker off, and he heads it down towards the near post, but it's the wrong side of the post and into the side netting. But Walker-Peters, he's just trying to make a nuisance of himself. He knows he's in trouble because he's a foot, oh no, I said he's 6 inches shorter than Kane. Kane's brilliant in the air, but he does enough to put him off. That is quality from Walker-Peters.
There is fantastic defending there by the former Tottenham Hotspur fullback. With around 1:15 remaining, the man of the match award has been awarded to James Ward-Prowse. Personally, I don't have any issues with that decision. Do you agree with that?
I think we called it pretty early on, didn't we? I got to say, I think Walker-Peters had a great second half, though. You know, if you're going to pick a Southampton defender to be the one that's shone the most, I would say it would be him.
Yes, as Doherty gets away from Valerie, there might still be a twist in the tail here. It's Doherty towards Brian Hill, who gets a shot away, and it's poked over the crossbar by Fraser Forster with a flailing right arm. Hill maybe again just took too long to get the ball out of his feet. It was the right pass by Doherty. Hill, I don't think, didn't want to go for goal with his right in the end. He got it onto his left, and his effort was well tipped over. But with around 30 seconds remaining, chances are few and far between now for Tottenham. They need to make use of them if they are going to get the late winner here. Son with a corner kick. Header by Davinson Sanchez. Sails over the crossbar. It takes another deflection, though. It's another corner kick, and this might be the final attack of the game.
Yeah, into the near post. Sanchez rising with Bednarek. It's come off the pole, so it is... Well, this is last chance saloon now, hasn't it? You know, if Southampton can get this ball up the field after this corner, then they'll get a point.
It's also finished Watford 1, West Ham 4. That's a confirmed full-time scoreline as Son puts the ball into the area. Sanchez with a flick on, almost fell kindly to Lucas Moura. It just squirmed away from him. He picks the ball up again, though, needs to get the ball into the area, and does. Eric Dyer tries to get on the end of it. Bednarek with the clearance. Højbjerg is there. And to bring it down, Broha will bring the ball out, and that is going to be that. The final whistle has been blown. The full-time score, Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. And we'll see you in the next one.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities.